All right, guys, I'm back, and I know it's been a while since I've made a video. Um, so hang in there. I'll be making more videos as I get time. It's just a busy season, and the holidays are here, and work is crazy. So just hang in there, and I appreciate all the subs. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. So um, this video is going to be about NFL Fever and just giving you a status on where I am with it, and wanted to find out from the community, those guys who are interested in getting this roster, um, what you guys are able to do, and if you want to contribute, because I'm basically at a almost at a stopping point, because the file is is very complicated, and the way that Microsoft built this roster file is just, it's very different than what I've been working with the other rosters and other games. So I wanted to share with you briefly what I'm dealing with, and if there's a person out there who really wants to make a roster, I can guide them as to what changes need to be made in the hex file, um, because coding this is going to take so much time that it's just not, to me, it's not worth the agony at this point. And I'm not even sure where to start, because these players are just randomly spread out, and there's no real pattern that I can come up with to find them. So let me tell you what the problem is first. So first of all, I'll show you a video of where we're getting the issue, where I'm having the issue. So if you guys have been following me with this game, you'll see that, that I've been creating players. So I've been creating just players in the game, and all the John Doe players that are created, I set the colleges to the NFL team. So San Diego would be SD as the college, and that's the way I've brought them into the editor. But the problem is that the game only allows so many players to be in free agency. So if you can picture it, I've been creating John Does after John Doe after John Doe, and I've made about half the league already, half the amount of teams. But then what I do is I take all the entire roster. So if I go into, let's say, the whoever, let's just say I'm at the Chargers, and I pull off all the players and I throw them into free agency, that adds to the free agency pool. And then I bring in all of the created players, and I sign them onto the team. So in essence, every team I've been building, I've had to dump all the players that were already pre-existing on the team into the free agency pool. And what happens is, after you have so many players added, you get to the point where you see the an error, and I'm going to show you it right here. So this free agency pool error is what I'm getting, and I can't release any more players in the game. And I'm not really 100% sure how to get around this. But I wanted to share with you guys in the community where I'm at. I'm dealing with this error, and really the next step would be either find a way to mark something to show that these guys aren't free agents in the hex file, and maybe that would open up slots, or find a way to edit these players in the editor. And that's the part that's just almost just next to impossible. So before I show you the file, I'm just going to show you real quick what teams I've basically made. All these teams here that have the players as the pictures in the top left, if you can see, I think it's forward more. Let me see. Yeah, so all these players that are over here that are not real pictures and more the creative player look, those are the teams I've made. So I've made about half the league. And so there's been a lot of progress made. It's just, where do we go next? And how much time do I really have to put towards this? Because part of what I'm trying to do is get back to the All Pro Football editor, but I do want to finish this project because I really want to play a season in NFL Fever. So Here's the latest roster file. As you can see, a lot of these teams are made. They're created. So I'd say it's just about half, or maybe less than half, that still need work. Okay? So, long story short, I'll go to the file just to show you what I'm dealing with. So this here, this set, this 100 and, well, normally it's 304 or something, but that's the problem too. They change. So like this guy's 294 in length. That's Frank Garcia. And then this guy is 290. So even their attribute lengths are different, 335. Now if you come down to a regular player that I've created, these are the created players down here. These guys are in the 700 and change range. So let me grab one of these guys here. Let me just search for John Doe. So Doe. Okay. So I believe if I bring it down from here to here, let me see. Yeah, 704. So see, these guys have 704 attributes in their player. So this right here, if you look at this section here, this is an actual player. This is one of the guys I created in the game. As you can see, John Doe, San Diego. If I go to San Diego on here, these are all this is one of the guys right here. So see, the team is San Diego. Their college is set to San Diego, which is what you see right here. Okay? So the attributes are 704. But when you create a player, every created player has the same 704 block that you can count on. They also have the same number of slots for first name and last name. Whereas if you look at the players that came in the game, they're all backed up with first and last name, and they're all different. Like this guy has a certain length, Frank Garcia, and then this guy has a certain length, and they don't even have any spaces in between. So just to give you a glimpse as to what I'm dealing with in terms of the file, it's almost next to impossible for me to figure out without spending tons and tons of time that I just don't have to come through and find out what the formula is to all these players, and I still don't even know how they're assigned to teams. But for those guys who have time and want to make editors, or want to make rosters, we have an option. And because the editor will allow you to save the roster file, and it will rehash it and re-sign it for you. If it were me and I had time, okay, what you could do is you can go through all of these players in here that are the regular players, and you can find them just by searching for any of the names. You can search for Frank Garcia, and you'll start to find these players in here. Just open up Hex Workshop. If you have that, it's a great program. You can open up free ones like HXD, I think is a free hex editor. And I can also fill you in on what slots here are what attributes. So if anyone out there in the comments wants to tell me or hit me up on SimHeads, if you're willing to do this and you want to take the time, you could do it through here. It's not hard to do. It's just a matter of going through and manually changing each person. What I've been doing in the editor is I've been importing teams based on the Madden roster files and the ratings from 2K4. I'm sorry, the roster from 2K4, but the ratings from Madden tweaked. So I've been doing it as just a full automated download import process because I just don't have time to code, research, and build a roster. So now with the remaining teams, all it would take is somebody to come in here and change these players in the hex editor, because in the game, as you can see, these guys are locked down. If you look at this right here, this is Brett Favre, and all you can change is his number, and then you can change his. Actually, that's a good point too. You can change the. I think you can change the equipment, and you can change his attributes like his speed, acceleration, etc. You can change all of that inside the game. So really, all you need to do in the editor is change these pieces here, which I could easily share with you where they are. I'm sorry, not the editor, in the hex file. So what you could do is you could quickly, you have to find players with the same length first name and last name, okay, or maybe even less. But you can't have a guy named Frankie and put him in here because I don't think it'll work. I think it has to be, a 5-character first name. So you got to find the right people with the right lengths, and then you're going to have to fill in the characters accordingly. So if I wanted to change this guy to Brett, I just start putting in B-R-E and then T and then T, and then now he's going to be Brett in the game. Okay. Same thing with the college. If you want to change this, you can change it to be whatever you want, but you have to stick within the limits of these players' characters. You can't go beyond. You can go shorter, I'm pretty sure, but you can't go beyond. So if it were me, I'd start changing all the names that fit, and then I would find them in the game and assign them to the team, and then change their attributes in the game. But what would need to happen is you would need to make the change. You need to save your file, okay? And then you would need to go into the editor, which I would be releasing if you guys were interested, and then open the save, and then just make, just open any player and hit accept, and then the save will come up here. And then you hit save and it'll rehash the file, and then you can load it up in the game. So from here on out, the next step is to do this to complete the roster. Okay? You would change it in the hex, you would load it in the editor, save the file, load it in your Xbox, do your manual changes, assign the players in the game, and that's the way this roster is going to get completed. Okay? So if it's worth it to someone to do that, I'd love for you guys to help. I've put a lot of work into this. I think this is a great game. It's just I'm kind of at a stopping point here, and I need some help if you guys are out there and want to contribute. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. The other option, by the way, would be to start over and to get all the players that are in the game that are currently playing today, like the Peyton Mannings of the world or the Drew Breeses, those guys who were playing back in 03, who are still playing now. Assign all those guys to the teams that they're in today, and use every player in the game that's in the game as it comes standard before you start creating players and start building these rosters, because that way, you can use those existing players and you won't have as many in the free agency pool. Okay? I didn't do that. I dumped everyone who was in the game, everyone on every team. I dumped them into the free agency pool, and I created all brand new players because I thought that you could just create an endless amount, which I think you can create. You just can't add them to the free agency pool. You can't release players, basically, existing players, once the free agency pool is the limit is reached. So anyways, let me know your thoughts. This is where I'm at. I didn't give up on you guys, but at the same time, I need help. So let me know if you're interested and you really want it, then you have an opportunity to finish the roster and we can play this game. So hit me up and I'll catch you guys soon next time. Peace.